This is me on the back of a pickup truck on my way to rickroll an entire city.
Perfect day for flying.
And the best part is, nobody has any idea it's coming.
Now, this all started a couple weeks ago when I watched the Jack Sucks at Life video where he claims that he rickrolled an entire city. But all he really did in that video was put a couple of lyrics from the song on a billboard and call it a day. Now, not to discredit Jack at all, but I'm here to properly rickroll an entire city. And here's how. The Boston Red Sox currently hold the record for the most amount of people rickrolled at one time, which was done at Petco Park in 2019. Now, unfortunately, I don't have access to a 42,000 person stadium, so I'm gonna have to take a different approach. How do you get an entire city to see a message? Well, the answer lies not on billboards or the sides of buses, but through aerial advertising. The idea is to clickbait as many people as possible with this message, and when people call this number, they'll be taken straight to voicemail where they'll be left to hang out with this glorious message. Now, the reason I'm using Elon's name is twofold. One, it's great clickbait. And two, Elon's been doing some rickrolling of his own recently. So who better to be a partner in crime when rickrolling an entire city?
Our plan in place, we just needed to find a plane and someone willing to fly the banner.
Gary speaking.
Hey, is this Skyads?
Yeah,
Do you guys fly to Sydney?
we're on the Gold Coast.
When would be the nearest time we'd be able to fly?
Possibly be able to get it done tomorrow or today. Right, have a good one.
Yes! We're flying! With our message ready, plane secured, and a little dash of movie magic, 2 weeks had passed and flight day finally arrived. It's flight day. So originally the plan was to fly in Sydney, which is obviously not happening anymore. So instead, we're going to the Sunshine Coast, baby. It had been a long road to get here, as I had previously booked with the Sky advertising agency that actually cancelled on me in fear of getting sued. But regardless, I wanted to meet the man who had taken a chance on me and become my partner in crime, Gary, who I think took a chance on us because he had no idea what we were doing.
What does the flag mean?
After a quick tour of the hangar, the last thing I expected was to be escorted onto the runway on the back of a pickup truck named Daisy.
Ever made a banner like this one?
No, you got me worried, Stanley. You got me concerned.
I don't have life insurance, just saying. This wasn't part of the brief.
But nevertheless, we made it out alive, and we laid out the banner, and I couldn't help but contain my excitement.
This thing is huge. Oh my god.
It's also now that it would be a good time to remind you that Gary literally had no idea what he was flying.
What does this mean?
But good old Gaz didn't need a reason.
I don't ride him, I only fly him.
There it was, laid out in its entirety, ready for takeoff.
Call 0435 482 570. That's 0435 482 570 for Elon Musk.
This whole exercise wasn't cheap. All up, the plane, the banner, and the pilot was going to cost me over $1,000. It was going to be a very expensive gamble. Should no one even call the sign, all that money would very much be going to waste. The $1,000 on the line, there was one last thing to do before we set off. I wanted to do a quick test run. And as it took off, it was the miraculous buzz of an iPhone and not an airplane that had me jumping with joy.
Oh my god, I'm already getting calls. Yes. I've got 3 calls already. This is great.
I had 3 new voicemails, which meant my plan had worked.
10:27 a.m. To replay.
But that was just in the small region of an airspace. The true test was still yet to come.
Yeah, just as crazy as the guy who hired you. Alright, Big Mama, do me proud. Right, so I'm pretty happy with how the banner turned out, but now we've just got to find a vantage point to watch the plane go past and listen as the entire city rings with Rick Astley.
The sign, plane, and pilot were all ready. My spirits were soaring and my hopes were high, as we could not have picked a more beautiful day to do this on. There was not a cloud in the sky, and it seemed like the entire city had gathered onto the beaches, but little did they know, they were in for a surprise. And it was go time.
I'll be there in half an hour.
Alright, let her rip these in.
Cheers, mate. I'll come.
As I waited, the plane had already taken off 30 kilometers from our location. And we were already beginning to get calls.
I'm already starting to get calls. Just got one. I think Gary's on his way.
And ever so slowly, the plane appeared in the distance. And just like that,
The whole city's in the process of being rickrolled.
hundreds and thousands of people were stopped in their tracks by the unmissable opportunity to talk to Elon Musk. These guys hadn't called the wrong number and somehow got on the line with an actual stranger. Voicemail after voicemail was being left on my phone. It had worked.
Yeah, I'm still getting calls. I got about 30 new calls, 31 new voice messages.
But just as quickly as it came, the plane was gone. But no matter, the banner had had the desired effect, and I had received over 1,000 voicemails and calls. I felt like my work in the Sunshine Coast was finally done. It was time to go home.
My phone has been non-stop ringing for the last hour. I've got over 1,000 calls. The Boston Red Sox may have rickrolled an entire stadium, but I've rickrolled an entire city. The Gold Coast is but I'm never going to give it up.